I love your shirt. I love your shirt, Deanna. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yes.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, yeah.
Ember, hay algo diferente en ti.
Un hombre agua. ¿Vives aquí?
Aquí vive mi mamá.
So, Peter, how do you translate your own personality into the projects and the characters that you choose to direct and use that as a way of catharsis, like in Elemental?
It's wow, what a question right off the bat, Diana. I think you start off with a seed of something that it feels personal, only because these things take so long that you can get lost very easily. So having something that connects deeply to you is a great mast on the ship through the storm. And so that's how it started. But there were so many other artists that helped on the show that brought themselves to connect to it. And when I see the film now, all I just see are all the different faces and people from around the world that helped make this thing. But it's not easy to do. It's scary to talk about your personal stuff. It's vulnerable, but at the same time, to answer your question, there's a lot of this that is subconscious to me too. Like most of the time, you're just trying to have some fun, but then some little piece of you just sneaks in there. You didn't even know it was in there until afterwards. But it's a mix of all of that.
All animated movies, of course, are challenging. You always in Pixar have a main challenge, and I always like to know about this because, as you can see, I'm a huge Pixar fan. And in terms of animation, for example, how the hair of Sully in Monsters Inc. was very difficult to do, or the tentacles in Hank in Finding Dory, and we have many examples. Here in Elemental with Amber, that she's this amazing, like I couldn't stop watching her because she looks amazing. Was it her that the main thing that was most difficult to animate to do?
It's so funny. I'm with you. I could not stop watching her. I still can't. I really love her. We thought she was going to be hardest. It was always going to be her story. We started with her, but Wade, our water character, ended up being way more difficult.
But Ember wasn't easy, just to say. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's very true. It took forever to get her to look good. I mean, water's always hard, frankly, but he had different challenges than Ember. He refracts light, and his hair was really hard. So, and what is different about this movie is every single shot has effects in it. And so that's a first for Pixar. So in addition to having these super complicated characters, it's like every shot was really hard. We knew it was going to be a challenge, but it turned out to be a way bigger challenge than we thought it was going to be.
Recent Pixar movies have shown us relationships between friends, between mothers and daughters, relationships with ourselves. In Elemental, you bring back romantic love. And I absolutely love that. Why did you choose to portray these characters in this way? Because they could have been friends, they could have been brother and sister, I don't know. And you choose that, and I loved it.
That's great, Deanna. Thank you so much. When I first started drawing these characters, they looked nothing like the characters we saw now. They were more like these little flames and drips. But when I put fire and water together, there was a tension there immediately. Like I put fire next to air, but there wasn't a lot of tension. There was fire next to earth. There was a lot of tension, but earth didn't put anything onto the fire. But once water was there, they had this balance of like, oh, they could both kill each other. Wow, there's so much tension to that. But that connected to a personal place for me because I married someone that wasn't Korean, and my family, my grandmother, they were all like, you have to marry Korean, and it created all this tension in that. But there was, even though there were tough things, there was hilarious things of my wife's family trying Korean food for the first time, and all of that led me to this question of what if could fire fall in love with water? Could they even connect? And that question started this whole route to explore with Ember and Wade.
We have so many details that you need to watch the movie again and again to catch everything. Like you created a language for like Irish.
Yeah, Irish, yeah.
What was for you, Denise, that detail that you enjoyed the most when you saw it for the first time, and you would like fans to pay attention to that?
Oh, that's a hard one. I have so many things that I like because it's so funny. What's really different is usually I've seen the movie obviously a lot. And usually by this point, I would just not want to watch it anymore. And I still really enjoy watching it because like you say, you see something new every time. I do love what we call the Vivisteria tree and what we call bubble date. There's a scene of Ember on her motorcycle when she's driving through Firetown, and the fireworks go behind her. And for some reason, I just love that scene. It feels joyous, and she looks happy. So I love that. And then just to pay a little bit of Elio is the movie that comes behind us, and I do love our hidden character.
Easter egg.
I do. I really love that we went to a lot of work to get that character in there, and it was worth it.
My last question before we wrap, Peter, is about the music. That's one of my favorite characters of the movie because that made me connect even more with the universe that we're seeing here. Just want you to talk about the first time that you saw the movie without that, and then after with all these things and elements together. How did you feel?
It is the magic of the movies, Deanna. Like when all these artists here at Pixar are creating all this work to put into a picture, and we had temporary score, we had all this sort of rough music going for it. But then once we got to work with Thomas Newman, you know, we're all fans of him, but I just didn't know what that was going to be like. And so he was very thoughtful about the movie. He really loved the movie. And he brought all of this deep thinking to moments of the film that elevated it all. But outside of that, to your question, I think it was when we were at the Fox Studios with this big live orchestra, diverse people all picking up different instruments, and then behind them was this big screen and all the work that we had done at Pixar. Once the first time Thomas did the conduction and the music, all the musicians did their first note, it melted to this big screen. And I remember being here like, this is what the movies are all about. This immersive sort of sucking into the picture. It was amazing. It was my favorite part of the whole process. You know, thank you for that question.
Yeah, we love the score. I love the music. Feel so lucky. I'm so glad that you mentioned that. Thank you.
I enjoy the movie a lot. I want the people to watch it. Thank you for doing this for everybody.
Oh,
thank you, Deanna.
So
thank you very much.
Thanks for your kind words.
Of course. So nice to meet you. Have a
Nice
great
to meet you. Bye.
Thank you.